2008 Chrysler 300 front brake pads and rotor replacement. I'm Brian Nelson from How to Automotive. I'm going to walk you through the steps of replacing those. So we're going to get started by getting your vehicle in the air. If you're doing this at home, use floor jacks and jack stands, and go ahead and remove your front wheels. Okay, so I'm working on the driver's side of the vehicle. So what I did was, to make it easier to work on, is I turned the wheel to the right fully, and that gives me more access to get to the bolts and hardware here. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the caliper, and we're going to take the 13mm bolt here and a 13mm bolt here, but you're also going to need an 18mm wrench to back it up back here. This jam nut will spin on it when you go to loosen them, so you'll back it up and then remove the two bolts. I wanted to share with you guys my favorite wrench in my toolbox. It's made by Mountain. These wrenches are about 18 inches long. They have tremendous amount of torque on them. They're ratcheting flex head wrenches, and so I use these like every day. So you can crack these bolts free and spin them off. I was lucky enough to not have to back it up, but if this jam nut spins, you'll need to back it up with the 18 wrench. If you guys are interested in learning more about these wrenches, I'll link it up in the description of the video. Now that you got the two bolts off the caliper, you're just going to take the caliper off. And I like to just set it up here on top of the suspension like this and just let it rest. Next, we're going to remove the caliper bracket here. And on the back side, there's going to be two 18mm bolts. So one here and one here we're going to remove. And then the bracket will come off. After unbolting the bracket, we'll just set this aside. In a minute, we're going to do a little prep work on this. Now you can go ahead and remove your rotor. So now we're going to take our replacement rotor, unpackage it, and then we're going to wash it off with brake clean, or you can use warm soapy water. And the reason why is when they package this, they put oil on them so they don't rust in the boxes on the shelves. So we need to wash all that off. Before we reinstall our rotor, if your hub is rusty, I recommend you use a wire brush like this and scrub the rust off the surface of the hub. So after washing off the rotor, cleaning up the hub, I slid the new rotor on and I used one lug nut to hold it flush against the hub. So next we're going to prep the caliper bracket for reinstallation, and the first thing we'll do is remove the old pads. And then what we're going to do is I recommend you take the old hardware clips off and replace it. My brake pads came with a new set. I will be linking up all the parts and products that I use and tools that I use in this video in the description of it. So if you guys need to pick up any of this stuff, you can look for it there. So with that said, I'm going to remove the hardware clips and change those out. And if your brake pads or parts don't come with the hardware kit, then I recommend you use a wire brush like this and clean the channels out really well. So what I like to do is just take one off at a time, match it up with the accord, and then press it on. After changing out the hardware, the next part is you want to take the slide pins and you want to pop them out of the boots, and you want to wipe all the old grease off. After you wipe the grease off, then you want to take a fresh layer, put a fresh layer of new grease on them. And what we use here at How to Automotive is Seal Glide brake lubricant. It's specially designed for brakes, and it doesn't break down with heat. If you use the wrong type of grease, the grease will run off when it gets hot. It'll liquefy and run off, and it create a mess and also stop lubricating. So you want to put a small amount of that, rub it into the pin, and then reinsert it into the boot and work that grease in and out and make sure it's moving freely. And then you reseat the boot like this, and you'll do that for top and bottom. Okay, after getting the pins all lubed up, the next step is what I like to do is take the bolts that held the caliper bracket and the caliper on, and I like to put blue thread locker on it. It's made by Permatex, and this is like a little glue that you put on the bolts that helps prevent the bolts from vibrating loose and coming back off. It's a little extra protection. Now we can slide the bracket back over the rotor and go ahead and tighten these two bolts down to 70 foot-pounds. Okay, after getting our bracket torqued down to 70 foot-pounds, we're going to go ahead and reinstall our brake pads. So they just slide into the little grooves like that. Sometimes it's easier to turn them sideways a little bit like this, and then let them line up and then twist them in. Okay, now that you got your brake pads in, what we like to do here at How to Automotive is take a little bit of the Seal Glide grease, and we put a little thin layer of it on the back of the shim, front and back like this. And what this does is help prevent the brakes from vibrating and squeaking. Okay, now we're ready to press the piston back into the bore of the caliper, and I'm going to use just a C-clamp to do that. It just hooks on there like you see. Install one of the old pads in there and then screw it in. But before we do that, what we're going to do is lower the vehicle down and remove a couple ounces of brake fluid. So on the driver's side here, we're going to pop this little cover up, and underneath is going to be the master cylinder. We're going to suck a few ounces of brake fluid out. That way when we press that caliper in, it doesn't overflow and spill into the bay. Okay, now that we've removed a couple ounces of brake fluid, the reason why we do that is because when we push this piston in, we're not going to open the bleeder screw. We're going to leave it shut. And what that does is it pushes the brake fluid back up the brake line and into the master cylinder. And if it's too full, it'll overflow and spill into the engine bay, and we don't want that. And then after we're done, what we're going to do is we're going to, after it's all assembled, we're going to pump the brake pedal, and that's going to pump the fluid back into the caliper. And doing it this way, you will not have to bleed the brakes. But as a disclaimer, I always recommend, if the brakes feel funny to you, bleed the brake system. So with that said, we're just going to screw the C-clamp in until the piston is fully seated. So once the piston is pushed all the way in, now you're going to take the caliper and you're going to reinstall it, but you're also going to make sure that the brake hose is not twisted in any way. And you're going to reinstall it, and when you do that, you're going to have to push these slide pins in like this to get the pads to go on. Once you get the caliper back on, you can run the bolts in and torque them down to 44 foot-pounds, and also put the blue thread locker on the bolts. Okay, now as you got the caliper bolts tight, you can go ahead and remove the lug nut. And you're going to duplicate this exact same process on the opposite side. After that, you're going to install your wheels and torque it down to 110 foot-pounds each. Lower the vehicle down, and you're going to pump the brake pedal 6 or 7 times, and that's going to pump that brake fluid back into the caliper. And you should not have to bleed it. And that'll complete the job of replacing the front brake pads and rotors. I'll link up all the parts, tools, and products that I use in the video in the description. And I'm Brian Essick from How To Automotive. I'd like to thank you guys for watching my videos. Encourage you to subscribe. Invite you to head over to the howtoautomotive.com website for more valuable videos like this. And I'd like to thank you again for watching.